Good evening. Today is Wednesday, May 17th, 2023. Is there a motion to call the Acushnet Board of Selectmen into session?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And this is a meeting with the Acushnet Soil Board, May 17, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. Is there a motion to call the meeting to order?
So moved.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are now in session.
Great. Gentlemen, thank you. I just wanted just a moment of personal privilege, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Wanted to thank the voters of Acushnet for returning me to office. It was a spirited campaign, and I appreciate the vote of confidence. I also appreciate working with you gentlemen, Bob, over the last year, Kevin over the last couple of years, but also over the last decade or so in some shape or form. I think we've been able to figure out how to put our personal political differences aside for the betterment of the town, and I sincerely hope that that continues, at least for while I'm in office. And so with that, again, thank you to the voters of Acushnet. We do have some business to take care of before we do our official reorganization of the board. So with that, we do have some new hires for the DPW, water sewer techs, Todd Mora and laborer Jeffrey Fortin.
Motion to appoint.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. One other item is Richard Pimentel has announced his resignation from the Conservation Commission effective June 28th, 2023.
Motion to accept resignation.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, if
Yes.
I may, after that date, just so everybody knows, that will leave 2 open positions on the Conservation Commission. So anybody interested, send your letter of interest to the Board of Selectmen, please.
All right. Very good. Thanks. All right, here we have it. It is the annual reorganization of the board, and as custom, the selectman who is in his last year of his term shall take the mantle. And so with that, Mr. Hinckley, would you nominate Mr. Gasper?
I would like to make a motion to nominate Mr. Kevin Gasper as chairman of the Select Board.
I will second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And I'm aye. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Give me your phone and your glasses back.
Thank you, sir. So just under the regular business, I would like to just add a comment to Selectman Wona's comments about the election. First of all, I want to congratulate Selectman David Wona in his victory. And anybody who's been elected in this election, congratulations. And for those of you who weren't, there's always another time in the future for you to do so. So please don't be discouraged. Try to stay involved. There's a lot of openings on boards and committees. That'll probably be a great place for a lot of you to start if you would like to, and volunteer your time there and see if you fit for something else in the future. So again, congratulations to Selectman Wona. As you said, Selectman Wona, I look forward to working with the board, Mr. Hinckley, Mr. Wona, in the next year. That's what we're here to do, is serve the public and get things done for the public. So here we go, off to a new year, along with Mr. Kelly, Town Administrator. I do want to set one ground rule for our agendas, and Mr. Kelly's already aware of it. The Board of Selectmen, under my chairmanship, we will set the agenda. We will close the agenda on Thursday by 11 a.m. prior to next Selectmen's meeting, and the books will be done for Friday at noontime for pickup. So if you have anything you want to be put on the agenda, make sure you bring the information along with it. Mr. Kelly and I will review it. If we have time and available space on the agenda, we'll accommodate that situation, but please have your information ready to go so that our administrative assistant can put the books together and have it prepared for the board before the weekend. That's all I ask. With that said, gentlemen, we have executive session scheduled for both. We're gonna do the, first of all, let's jump into the soil board, and there is a reorganization of the soil board. At normal, we would talk about put a new chairman in place. I will leave this up to Mr. Hinckley. I would be more than happy to carry the torch for a bit longer as chairman of the soil board if you see fit. Seeing how I've been involved with it from the start, and we're in the middle of the process of peer review and talking to engineers and things of the like. If that's what you choose, I will take that position on until we prepare, and hopefully at some point we get a soil removal permit in front of PJ Keating for acceptance.
Sure. Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the offer, and I will be more than happy to let you take that up. I think reorganizing the soil board right now, probably not a good idea, as we're in the middle of a current application review, and I think we should postpone it until after that is finished.
So I guess we would be looking for a motion to keep me as chair.
Motion to keep Kevin Gasper as chair of the soil board.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen, for the confidence in me to represent as chairman. With no further business in open session in either one of us, as Mr. Hinckley has stated, there are some alternate vacancies, 3 alternate vacancies: Agricultural Commission, Beautification Committee, up to 8 vacancies, Bylaw Review Committee, 2 vacancies, 1 alternate. I think we're down to 1 vacancy. Is that correct? Not 2 anymore. We just appointed Mr. Francois, correct?
Correct.
And then we have Mr. Boucher. Did we do him yet, or do we have to have that on the next agenda?
Mr. Boucher for
Was that Serpent though?
Oh, that was
Serpent.
So there's 1 vacancy, I believe, on Bylaw Review Committee, not 2,
Correct.
and 1 alternate. So if anybody's got any interest in the Bylaw Review Committee, and Mr. Hinckley, you said there's an opening on Conservation Commission already. That's not on our list, but if you say so.
Unless they appointed
There's
somebody.
one,
On the back.
Backside.
Oh, okay. Yep, I apologize. Community Preservation. There's 1 Housing Authority vacancy, 1 planning vacancy?
That's
Planning vacancy?
on the CPC. We need a housing authority member and a planning member to be on the CPC to complete the board.
Oh,
The
okay.
commission, the committee, rather.
Okay. It's a bit confusing the way it's written. Conservation Commission, 2 vacancies as of the end of the town's fiscal year, which is June 30th. June 28th is where the letter of resignation said, and 1 alternate vacancy for Zoning Board of Appeals. We'll check and make sure that that's all correct. Other than that, we need a...
Mr. Chairman, just so the board knows, there was a notice we received today for a public meeting and agenda for the Title V Advisory Committee by Zoom tomorrow, the May 18th at 2 p.m. We received it today for tomorrow. I know it's a sensitive subject matter, so I want to make sure the board knows about it.
Yeah, Mr. Hinckley had posted it on social media, and in addition, I'm following up with Senator Montigny's office just to get a sense. I'm curious as to whether or not the senator's office had been briefed on what's likely to be discussed.
Yeah.
So if I get any info there, I'll report back.
And we've
But,
got it
I'll
on
try to zoom-
Facebook.
I'll plan on zooming in on that, check it out.
You're gonna zoom in on it, Mr.
Yeah.
Lona?
I have the time.
Great. Because I won't be available. I have some morning schedules with Mr. Kelly. So that'd be great if you can zoom in on it and update the board on what's going on with that all of a sudden.
Mr. Chairman, I'd also like to point out that the DEP dropping a meeting at 2 p.m. during the day isn't beneficial to anybody in any town affected by this. And in the future, a couple more days of notice would be nice as well.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. All right, so anything for Selectmen's announcements?
Yeah, if I can, Mr. Chairman, put this under whether it's announcements or future business, so just to not forget about it. I met with a constituent last night about the traffic in front of Presidential Terrace. There's a number of elderly folks who try to cross the street to take advantage of the walking paths that we have, and it's very dangerous. And so I'd like for it to be on the agenda for our next meeting to get the safety committee to look into that, but with the technology we now have with signage, you know, like we have at the Four Corners or we have at Lake Street, I'd like for the board to revisit that and come back with a recommendation on how we can handle that. But I think we gotta do something. It's unfair to those people who live there.
Mr. Chairman, as I see the traffic go by that particular location every single day,
Yeah.
I can fully support any kind of progress to not only slow the traffic down, maybe even move the speed limit sign that nobody sees until they're already going far too fast.
Yeah.
It
is pretty dangerous
We've got
on the
the
hill.
speed limit signs on Slocum. I mean, as we start next year looking at budget, you know, start thinking of those types of things, because it's clear that we've got safety issues in town on our roads, and it's not getting any better.
No, it's not. Definitely not. It's what happens when your population grows, but your infrastructure doesn't, right? The infrastructure was put in place 50, 100 years ago. Nobody anticipated population growth at some point into the future. And now this is where it's everywhere. It's not just Acushnet, but I couldn't agree more that we need to do something for safety over there. So with that said, we have an executive session. Is there a motion to go into executive session on the general law, chapter 38, subsection 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation, civil action number 2273 CV 00630, if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares, the board will not return to public session. And can I make that as a joint motion between the Board of Selectmen and the Soil Board? Like we do in the public hearing? All motions?
I believe so.
Will be joint motions. Let's just do it individually so we don't get ourselves in trouble. So that's from the Soil Board. Is there a motion?
So
Second.
All those in favor? Roll call vote, Mr. Hinckley?
yes.
Mr. Wona?
Yes.
And I am a yes. Is there a motion to go for the Selectmen's meeting to go into executive session under general law, chapter 38, subsection 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation, civil action number 2273 CV 00630, if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares, and the board will not return to public session. Mr. Hinckley?
So moved,
Second.
Mr. Hinckley, roll call vote.
yes.
Mr. Warner?
Yes.
And I am a yes. We are now in executive session.